Despite what's sat in front of me, this video has nothing to do with Trouble's engine. Well, this is a little teaser as to what is to come in the future. This video is all about removing Trouble's brakes, specifically her front brakes. Now, before I started this restoration, when we were wheeling Trouble around on the drive, her brake pedal never really did much. So I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna find. Let's find out. Okay, so when I say I'll be stripping the front portion of Trouble's braking system, I mean all of her braking system which is in the front half of the car. This includes the handbrake, brake master cylinder, and a few brake lines. I'll be leaving the flexi hoses, the brake drums, and backplates on until I strip the suspension off. I started with the handbrake and the relatively easy job of taking off this strap, but this strap shouldn't have even been there in the first place. At some point, someone clearly thought that the handbrake cable might get caught up in the steering mechanism, so made this lovely safety addition. It won't be going back on.
Still strapped. It is still. I thought that was leather.
It's zinc plated. Best Solingen steel. Looks like the hole's been chewed out by a squirrel. So, success.
Coffee?
No.
Right. That's one bit. Off. Next bit. How do I undo this? Oh, it's a split pin.
Some pliers to get rid of the split pin, and then you just push the clevis pin out.
My dad's going to show me how to undo a split pin. He wasn't impressed with my last attempt. Come on, stop poking it. Just.
It seems to me to be rather a fragile one.
I don't think it's going back.
He also struggled. I think it has more to do with the rust than the technique.
Do you need some WD? I think we do. I'm ruining this.
I think these split pins sort of had it. It's broken off. I think it is quite old.
Okay.
Eventually we got the split pin out of the clevis pin. Christ, there are a lot of pins here, stay with me. And could remove the handbrake cable from the handbrake bell crank.
Would you like a split pin?
Yeah.
It's really, I don't think it's serviceable.
On split pin.
Okay. Right, so disconnected.
Okay.
This amazing handbrake mechanism, this massive lever. It's a huge, look at the size of that lever. Look.
Chunky. For the handbrake turns.
And then that rotates that shaft, which then pulls that cable. And that's got to clear the torsion tube. Look.
We're going to get rid of all of that. Electronic handbrake going in. Lovely.
Think how much weight we could reduce. If make the back end even heavier.
Next up was just removing the handbrake lever. Well, actually it's more of a rod from inside the car. This was clamped to the underneath of the bulkhead with 2 nuts and 2 bolts. Almost impossible to undo on your own without strangely long arms. Porsche really kept their use of captive nuts to a minimum.
Okay. That's that one off.
Okay.
You can pull those two now.
Yep, but it appears this is welded into the car.
My plate's also not come up.
Well, that's probably stuck on with treacle. Oh, hold on. This is coming off. This is a tube. This is oh, yeah. Ah, brilliant.
With the clamp off, we could just slide it out of the hole in the bulkhead until it got stuck.
I'm not sure which way around the cable should come out.
It doesn't make sense. You can't pull the cable.
Look how big the hole is, and tell me whether the thing on the end is bigger than the hole. How about that? How about that for an idea? How big is the ferrule?
Yeah, that's not going through that hole at the moment.
Right.
Me and my dad then spent the next couple of minutes trying to work out whether the cable would get through the hole. It turned out that the end of the cable was just getting caught on an old rubber grommet. Hopefully, once the grommet is off, we should be able to get the handbrake rod out. So you can see the cable here. It's running through this grommet, which looks quite loose, so hopefully it shouldn't be too hard to take off. Let me just see if I can do it while on my hands. Oh, there we go. That's that off there. You can see the hole there. Where the cable goes, I now need to try and get this over this. This grommet is best part of well, instead of fighting, I'm going to be the bigger man. I have two favourite ways to get old grommets off, like this, that are a bit persistent. My first favourite is lubing it up, and then seeing, with a bit of lube, if it comes off. Oh no, it's going to. So I'm not going to have to show you my second favourite, but it may involve this. Right, that's that off. Is it going?
Look at that.
Success. Next up, I moved on to the actual brakes, finally. Starting with disconnecting the wires which went to the brake pressure switch on the end of the master cylinder. Maybe I didn't have the right tool for the job, but this was seriously awkward to get to. This is possibly the most awkward thing we've worked on to date.
It would be easy without the steering in. Moral of the story is take all the steering out before you do your brakes. Okay.
So what's that one?
The cable's not coming out.
Oh, they go through like holes.
Yeah, well, they go into a hole that then the screw clamps.
Yeah, I see. I get that.
Got it?
Yeah, they're off.
Good. Woo!
I'd had enough of fighting with the steering damper, so decided before going any further with the brakes, it was time to take it off. You might also be wondering why my steering rack has a damper. I was. But it turns out it is to improve steering stability and reduces any steering kickback you might get from changes in road conditions, such as potholes. We have enough of them in the UK. Some people apparently remove this damper to get a more direct steering feel. I might do the same. Car-slated nuts are pretty rusty. Taking the damper off is a pretty straightforward job. One end is fixed to a drop link on the steering arm and the other is clamped to the upper torsion tube using a U-bolt. I just had to pull some more split pins out of the car-slated clamping nuts and then undo them. Saying that, surprise surprise, the split pins wouldn't just pull out. In fact, they would not budge.
Is it broken off that side?
Yeah, both legs are off.
Okay, so it should just pull out if you can get enough purchase on it, yeah?
In theory. But it does not look
Is
a
it?
good way.
Is there any sign of it moving in the nut?
Something's moving. I've managed to uncover. It didn't look like it was pulling through, so I'm not sure what. Okay. Should be able to get a socket on there. I ended up snapping the ends off so that I could get a socket on the nut and then prayed I'd be able to shear the rest of the split pin with the nut. Luckily, the method behind my madness worked and the other end turned out to be even easier to take off. Okay.
Off?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the other end.
Somehow. We're trying to remove the steering mechanism shock absorber dampener, the damper for the steering. And we've undone the car-slated nut on this side. And then I was trying to undo the car-slated nut on this side. And I was complaining to my dad that there's just not enough room to get a socket on the car-slated nut. And my dad then was having a look at it and he was like, yeah, it looks like it slipped on its bush.
So my dad then just had the very bright idea of just sliding the damper off the bush. So, nut is still in place, damper is off, and if I could get this bushing off, here, there we go, one damper.
With rubber bush, sans rubber bush. Oh well, there you go. Another milestone.
With the damper off, I could have cracked back on with the brakes, but didn't want to leave a job half done. So instead started on undoing the other castellated nut on the U-bolt to take the tension or clamping plate off and the U-bolt. This was exactly the same as the other side. It had a split pin I first needed to remove before undoing the nut.
Oh, you're videoing me, bastard. You've got my woolly hat on. There you go.
Hey. This is the damper which we've just taken off, and if you can't really hear anything, but it is as smooth as when it was probably brand new. See, end stop. I mean, it never travelled that far. Look at that. Still a little bit glossy. And now, lovely. She'll be going back on.
Hopefully with some new flexible mounts at each end, if we can find those, and make something or find something that fits.
Nice. Perfect. Right, back to the brakes. I could get back to the job I'd planned, removing the brakes. First, I decided to take the lid off the brake fluid reservoir. So we're taking off the cap of the fuel reservoir after however many years of sitting. What's in there? Trouble's brake fluid had turned into dust. I don't think anything's going to be left in these pipes. It's just dust. It's just all turned to powder, look. That's what you want your brake fluid looking like.
Good. Well, I'm going to drain the system now.
That's mad. Nice.
So you need to put the lid back on.
With the lid back on, I started undoing the unions holding the brake pipes and master cylinder. Surprise, surprise, these were tight.
Just a matter of applying enough torque, is it?
Yeah, which I can't do.
Shall we get some heat on it?
Whee!
It's probably going to twist the pipe.
Oh, who cares?
We want to keep the pipes of can, so we've got a sample.
We do care.
Is it rotating on the pipe, or is the pipe rotating?
I don't really know.
Can you see?
It's doing a little bit of both.
That's really helpful. Well, now's the time to get some more WD in there, if you can.
Yeah.
It's not like compressed air, it's got a bit in there.
It just makes me feel better.
I know. Yeah, I know.
See? I'm in the most awkward position, just so you guys can watch me undo a brake nipple.
That's coming in, doesn't it? Oh, look at that. You could probably reuse that pipe.
Shall I try?
Try what?
Reuse it?
No. No.
Well, that only feeds the rear brakes.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Which one?
This one, this feeds the rear.
Oh, is that? Which one are we doing? Oh, that's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need those, do we?
No. Handbrake's going to do those.
I thought you did say you wanted to reduce the mass of the vehicle.
Yeah. It can't do me for speeding if I can't stop. I've got to be nearly there.
Just going to go for a different camera angle, a bit more excitement.
As well as being tight, it was as if they were the longest unions in the world. No matter how many turns I did, it was as if a thread was still holding it on.
But it won't just pop out, you're going to pull it out. I mean, it will unscrew, but then when you get to the end of the thread, it's just going to sit there and go round, 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 round.
This has got to be through. I'm going to go around in circles.
I told you, it might have got to the end.
It turned out I was just going around in circles. Time for the second of 3.
I need to uncover it first.
Well, can you use a spanner to uncover it? No. Oh, no, that's no screwdrivers to uncover it. Oh, lovely.
I'll clean it.
I'll clean it, yeah. Every time the nice sharp blade is sort of all rounded on the corners.
I'm scraping soft stuff.
Okay, that's all right then.
Once BEA beautifully cleared off, I could get the spanner on it and start the process of undoing it.
Oh, do you see that?
Yeah, and which bit's gone round?
But this was a process. It wasn't quick. Someone please make a ratchet version of this spanner somehow.
I'm going to be here some time. Right, I think... another one bites the dust. Just filling my master cylinder up with shit.
I mean, we should plug those up, but seeing as the master cylinder doesn't even move, I think...
Is that supposed to move?
Well, your brake pedal's supposed to be firm, but not quite as firm as this one. This one's rock solid. Where is the other one?
I don't even know.
Where do we see it?
No, I'm going to need your nice screw. Nice screwdriver again.
My nicest screwdriver to clear off all that shite.
Once again, my dad's sharp screwdriver performed faultlessly. I'm starting to think it's actually better at scraping than it is screwdrivering. The brake pipe spanner sat perfectly, and all that grime seemed to have preserved the union. It undid like a dream. I mean, it was either that, or it was just never done up very tight.
Who'd have thought these would actually undo? I kind of thought we were going to have to get the pipe snippers out and just snip these off.
There's not an awful lot of brake pipes on this car, are there, really? You consider.
That's because I don't need to stop. It's like that song. I think Sia sung it. I'm a Porsche without any brakes. She was referring to trouble.
Although this union might have been easy to turn, it still took forever to undo. This spanner was a 6-point spanner, and I could only really get a 60-degree turn on each bite.
I can't get pipe out.
Is it loose?
Yeah.
Oh, it's completely out. Yeah. Oh, that's all right. We just undo the other end. Okay.
Yeah. Should we do that now and get the pipes out?
Yeah, we'll undo the other end. You might need to take the wheels off.
Okay, the brake lines have been undone from the master cylinder, but as you would have seen, I couldn't get enough spring on that last pipe to get it out of the female of the union. So we decided to undo the other end of the hose where it goes into the flexible. To do this, the first job was to remove the wheel.
Got your spanner.
Now that we have removed the brake lines from the master cylinder, we're going to remove, like, I guess you call it the hard line.
Yes.
You see, it goes into this little plate and then turns into a flexi. We're going to keep the flexis on for the time being until we remove the wheel assemblies. But for now, we're just going to undo this little thing, which should be this one. Oh, there it goes. She's gone. Oh, no, she hasn't. Oh, well. Let's just... She has, but...
She has, but she hasn't.
Oh, and there was brake fluid in there. It's just pissed on the floor. Well, let's just get rid of that.
At least you've got the pipe sample.
So yeah, that's how you remove your brake pipe from the wheel side. Just snap it off. That way, you don't need one of these expensive spanners. So yeah, if you don't have one of these spanners, snap your pipe off,
Cut your pipes off.
and then you can just get on it.
Okay, that didn't quite go completely to plan, but oh well. It isn't as if I'm going to be reusing those old rusty steel brake pipes.
It's off. And then we'll do the other side. Yeah.
Yeah.
This side was a lot tighter than the other side.
So don't break it. No.
It's tight.
To help undo it, we put another spanner on the other side of the pipe connector to stop any twist.
Yeah.
This worked, but the union wouldn't spin freely on the pipe. This meant in order to undo the union, either the whole pipe had to rotate with it, we chopped the pipe off, or persisted with trying to free it off the pipe. To save some time, we decided to snip it right at the base of the union.
I think, to be frank, I think it's going to be pointless. I think we should just snip that off.
It's not having any of it. It's like how days out. Snipped. See ya. There he is. Now we're going to try and take the master cylinder off by removing this nut, and there's another nut on the other side. See if these wanna budge. They don't look like they will. Let's try. That's one. There's one. Can't get that off. Here's a trick.
Call that a trick.
My dad's not too impressed with my trick.
So that nut was just a regular nut.
That was a regular nut.
No way to fix it. So the steering damper, which is not particularly essential, has got castle nuts with split pins.
Yeah.
The brake master cylinder,
Which you could question as essential.
could be deemed to be sort of more important than the steering damper. It's got a plain washer and a regular nut.
Oh, there's a
What have you found? Treasure.
Oh, it's creepy.
What is it? More eggs. Oh, nice. I wonder where that came from. Is it a maple leaf?
I don't know. Someone might know. That leaf. Anyone know what it is?
You messing about it?
can't.
Am I going to stand here all day?
Hopefully not. My phone memory is going to be.
I've got 3 minutes of you chipping away at a nut.
That's a record. There we go.
Are we on?
So I'm going for it. Oh, something's gone.
Get some WD on it.
Right, we're going to have to go for a long shot. Got it. It's just not very easy, okay?
Well, it looks fine from here. It's been a nightmare without the fuel. I mean, imagine doing all of this in the bottom.
Ah, you can't. There's no way you could do this from the bottom.
Do you reckon?
No way. I feel sorry for anyone that has to ever change their brake master cylinder.
Oh, another nut.
Go up there, my pile of nuts.
Maybe that's why they were so tight, though.
Right, so now I should be able to just pull this off. No, it's stuck on the bulkhead.
What's happening?
Right, so my dad's told me that these things are glued on.
Well, they've got sealant on them so that the water doesn't come in from the outside into the inside of the car.
Okay, so they're basically glued on with sealant. so that water doesn't come from the outside of the car into the inside. Right, this is now... Here we go, guys. This is a big moment. We've actually achieved something off the to-do list today. Oh, it's pissing out stuff. Here is my brake master cylinder.
You look so pleased.
One of the last things for today is I'm going to try and remove the clutch linkage. Clutch pedal basically actuates a wire, so I'm going to try and undo that wire clamp and then undo a few bolts on the pedal box to take the pedals off. That's the last job for today. Going to give it a crack. It's quite late, so if I get any resistance, I'm probably going to call it a day, but we'll see how we get on. So this is the pedal box. This is my brake, which I've just taken off the master cylinder, which was great. And this is my clutch. And as you might be able to see, clutch. You see this wire? So here is my clutch. What I might do is get spanners, undo that nut. Might then be able to undo that nut, those two locking nuts, and slide the cable off. Maybe, maybe not. I'm gonna go get some WD-40. Another 11 mil. Right, that's that. No. It's not going so well. I might pause this and come back to it.
We haven't got an 11mm ratchet.
We were unable to get the clutch cable off the clutch pedal after forever of trying. I kind of just lost the will to continue. So gonna go in, have some dinner and go to bed, and we will come back to it next weekend is the plan. So next weekend we will be taking the clutch cable off. Whether I have to cut it off, it'll be coming off. And the pedal box will be coming off the floor. Yeah, had a pretty good day though. We've got the handbrake out, we've got the steering damper off, and we've also taken the brake master cylinder off and the front brake lines, which was great. So yeah, anyway, see you guys later. Bye.
What a day. Now, yes, I did get defeated by that clutch cable, but to be honest, I don't care. I got a hell of a lot done and I was pretty pleased with just getting the brake master cylinder off. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give it a like. If you know what that leaf was, get it in the comments below. And if you don't want to miss how I turned Trouble's engine from looking like this to this, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone.